That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about VHS Beyond, the 7th film in the franchise. And also, the 9th in the overall series, because there's 2 spin-offs that I'm unfamiliar with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just premiered at the 2024 Fantastic Film Festival. It is being released courtesy of Shudder on October 4th, 2024.
I know you've watched several of the VHS films.
I've watched 5 of the 7.
And I know I've seen at least 2 prior. And I can recall a short or 2 from each that I enjoyed.
The returns on that are not great.
What is VHS Beyond about? 6 blood-curdling tapes unleash horror in a sci-fi inspired hell landscape, pushing the boundaries of fear and suspense.
No.
I think that's labeled incorrectly.
Why do these people lie?
What's your pull quote?
The shambolic VHS franchise is clearly in need of some video head cleaner, as interesting narrative concepts continue to be suffocated by an arbitrary tethering to its overused theme.
Shout out to Poppers. My pull quote. If this installment of the VHS franchise is supposed to be a sci-fi horror anthology masterpiece, it does not deliver on that promise. Not unlike how Red Lobster's best item is not their seafood.
Those cheddar biscuits.
Yes.
You can make them at home, because I think Red Lobster's gone.
Oh.
Aren't they?
I think they survived bankruptcy, maybe?
Did they survive?
I don't know.
I hope so, for the sake of the Lemonade album.
I'm a little confused with the premise because the movie poster would indicate, like, the tagline is no safe space. As we all know, the VHS franchise and films all have like a wraparound story that sort of break up the individual shorts. And in this one, it's about like extraterrestrial stuff. I would say 3 of the 5 shorts are clearly about aliens.
And the others?
And the other 2 are one is clearly not, and the other to me is arguable. But this didn't work for me.
There's too much dissonance.
Okay, I thought a fun way to approach this is, instead of going in order of how they're presented, why don't we start with the short we like the least up to the one we like the most? So what's your least favorite segment?
Oh, that goddamn wraparound is terrible.
I agree. And it's made more confusing because it's broken up over the course of 100 minutes. But basically, it's about a Chinese family that immigrated to the United States.
No, I think they're in Canada. It's a Toronto house.
They immigrated to Canada. And they became successful. And then I'm a little confused how we go from that to we're talking to documentarians and other people, like these guys from a YouTube channel who do like special effects and debunk videos. I thought they were the strongest part of this segment. But we keep alluding to these 2 VHS tapes that were sent in and digitized.
From the remains of this estate, the eldest son of this family had disappeared, and so everything was sold off.
And apparently the proof that we see is of him being contacted by an alien.
Well, some fire in the sky shit.
So the wraparound story ends, at the very end of this anthology, with us seeing those digitized VHS recordings. And we're told that there are 2 angles. So it looks like one camera's pointing into the bedroom, and we see this alien figure walk over to the man in the bed. I was really thrown off by the second angle, because the second angle looks like the man in the bed is holding the camcorder looking up. And then at one point, it looks like the alien is holding the camcorder. So that all seemed crazy to me. I will say there was some buildup, because the 2 guys who were like the debunkers, they get shown the video first. So as the audience, we're watching them react to it, and they seem really freaked out. So of course, I can't wait to see what it is. And I think it would have been effective had it not made sense with us being told that there are 2 angles. But that's all it amounts to.
Again, but that's how I feel about almost all of the format of all of these. Like, how do we get this footage? Where did it go? Why is it here? Can't we just have some good storytelling?
So that was number 6 on your list. What was number 5?
Number 5 was Stowaway, which unfortunately is the only woman who was involved in this. Kate Siegel, an actor that's kind of making her first short film.
Okay, Stowaway. A woman sets out to document the appearance of strange lights hovering above the Mojave Desert. So this one looks the coolest.
It does, and it was also written by Mike Flanagan, which maybe that had my expectations pretty high for this, but it also arrives after what I think was the best segment. So if you've ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race, I guess there is a method to the order of a comedy roast because the energy dissipates.
Oh yeah,
quickly.
it was a quick drop off. But this one, Stowaway, we see a woman out in the desert, and she seems to be into astrology. Astronomy, and is out there recording herself. And it looks very grainy VHS, cool vibes, when all of a sudden she sees some lights in the sky. And then it would seem that it's a UFO that has landed, and she walks into the UFO.
Yeah, that's like there's this kind of a live orifice opening. Again, it is the most interesting looking one. You know, reminded me of like when John Hurt first finds all of them alien eggs in the 1979 classic. But
she gets inside, and ultimately the spaceship takes off. So hence Stowaway. First of all, how do we get the footage if this propelled her into outer space? But I think the thing that really killed it, because it looks so cool, the vibe is cool. This damn lady, who I thought looked like Iggy Azalea, is talking too damn much as she is getting into the space. Like it would have worked so much better for me if she was completely silent and all we heard was her like trembled breathing, and you know, we do hear the aliens chittering a bit. I think that would have been so much better.
I think she should have introduced the aliens to I'm the Strip Club or Sally Walker. That would have been good.
Okay, what's your number 4 choice?
Number 4 was Stork, which does have something interesting about it, but getting there was rough.
Stork. Amidst a string of baby disappearances, a police unit finds itself searching for clues inside a dilapidated house.
And this was directed by Jordan Downey. The setup is interesting. There in this area, there have been 17 disappearances of babies. I don't know people would be losing their jobs. But anyway.
Well, this police unit, one of the police officers has had one of like his children go missing. So I felt like he probably shouldn't be a part of this team.
He shouldn't be on this raid because they've tracked a man to a house where they believe these babies are at.
So this police unit breaks into this house, and this is where this short turns into a straight up video game. This looked to me like a video game. All of a sudden, all these zombies are running out and being shot.
And the zombies looked a little Party City, or what's that those Halloween pop-up stores masks.
Well, I thought that this short looked like a commercial for Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Sure.
And then it all culminates with the creature that's turning everyone into zombies and taking the babies is this big bird.
A big stork. That's very creepy looking.
It is creepy looking.
But again, it's just like all of that for that. I don't know. There's a way that this could have been developed. If that was the piece de resistance, that there was a way to build to that nicely, and this is not it. Especially because one of the police officers, I'm like, this person is wearing a hat that looks like a prop because it doesn't even fit his head.
Oh, I wrote down that guy looked like he belonged as a member of Top Flight Security because he looked crazy.
He looked like he showed up playing a cop to do a striptease at a bachelorette party. That's what he looked like.
We see that all the zombies have the same wound in their like on their forehead, and then we finally reveal the wound and look inside, and we see that their cranium is empty, like their brains have been sucked out. So I thought that was interesting. Like you said, the bird looks cool. At the end, the bird is killed, and then the short's done. But yeah, I'm sure people will love it because it feels like a video game, but I found it to be kind of like bombastic and like... Okay, what's your number 3 choice?
I think I have Live and Let Dive, which has Justin Martinez returning, who provided a segment for the very first VHS film back in 2012. Okay,
I did enjoy this one to a degree. A group of friends go skydiving for the first time, midair. Their plane collides with a UFO, causing them to free fall. Upon landing in an orange grove, the group fights for survival. So... I mean, that's exactly what it is. A bunch of friends in an airplane, they see what looks like a UFO, and then all of a sudden these Air Force fighter jets are chasing it. And then it would appear that the UFO collides with this group of friends in their airplane, so they fall to the ground. But they were skydiving, so some of them are able to release their parachute while others just free fall and die. So a handful of them are still alive, but they're being chased by the aliens. And I agree with you that the aliens didn't look the best.
They're very CG. They don't look good, especially for how much we have to see of them.
But ultimately, one survivor is able to get away in a pickup truck, but doesn't really get away because the UFO sucks it up into space. Again, how do we get this footage? But I will say, of all the shorts, I thought this one would make an excellent feature film.
Well, it kind of reminded me of that Chloe Grace Moretz film, Shadow in the Cloud.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
With the gremlin. Which, again, going back to superior anthology films like the Twilight Zone movie or the Creepshow films or even Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, it's just like, where even the ones that are kind of like so-so, there's still something that is kind of magical about it. Like, I don't get that. I have not felt that about one VHS movie from start to finish.
During this short, there is a moment when I thought the ending of it, where the remaining survivor gets into the pickup truck and the man who's driving it feels threatened and is going to shoot him, but then an alien dispatches him, but he shoots off the guy's like finger, so he has like a finger dangling, and he's trying to shift gears in the truck with the column shifter. I thought that it was right, except that it didn't, the aliens don't look the best.
Well, and then again, the concept is we have to like see these people recording themselves who are just obnoxious and moronic. It's like, I don't want to hear these people talk about this dumb shit.
Your number 2 choice?
Number 2 was Dream Girl, directed by Virat Pal.
2 paparazzi sneak behind the scenes on the set of a Bollywood movie. The celebrity chasers discover consequences for their so-called found footage way worse than trespassing charges when they find superstar Tara waiting in her trailer.
A Bollywood superstar named Tara.
So that's what it is. These 2 guys, who I actually thought gave the best performances of the entire anthology, they are paparazzi who had a bad start to the day, so they're desperate to get some good pictures. So they sneak into this Bollywood production starring Tara, and
who apparently works so frequently she's rumored to be a witch.
And they provide us with a musical break, which I was not expecting. So there's a full-on like Bollywood dance performance.
Which the lyrics to which were kind of like that Peaches song, or like because like everybody wants to be Tara. The boys want to be her, the girls want to be her.
It was interesting, but the 2 guys, one of them sneaks into her trailer while she's in there and gets startled because he's hiding in her closet. He finds like a human face, like in a bowl.
In a bowl of some kind of jelly.
And that's when we realized that Tara, I thought Tara was like a robot, but I guess she could be an alien.
An alien that's fooled into slaving away in an entertainment industry.
And then the end of this segment turns into the end of Carrie, because Tara, through the advice of the paparazzi guy, realizes that she can do what she wants.
He basically says something to her that seems to free her or activate her, and she goes in.
That's why she feels like a robot, because it's almost like she's been reset. She also has like an eye that looks like a red dot, like a
Terminator.
Yeah. But the end of this short is Tara stomping around the movie set, killing everyone. The end.
Yep.
Okay, our favorite segment was titled Fur Babies.
Directed by Justin Long and his younger brother Christian Long.
Animal rights activists sneak inside a taxidermist house only to discover a gruesome secret in her basement. This one was not about aliens or sci-fi, so I'm very confused why the best segment in this sci-fi alien anthology is about dogs. But
An Islander Dr. Moreau dogs.
Ironically...
Well, I was going to say it almost felt like a test where you're made to choose which one of these doesn't belong.
Well, I was going to say, ironically, this short kind of follows the same plot as the movie Tusk.
The Kevin Smith film starring Justin Long. Yes.
Except instead of a walrus, it's a dog.
Yep.
And I think the best part of this segment was the lady who stars in it.
Yeah, who's kind of giving like Kathy Bates in Misery almost.
So basically she has a YouTube channel or something where she talks about her dogs, and there's this animal rights group who catches wind of her videos, and they're immediately like, she's a monster, we have to take her down. So they sneak into her home pretending to be like interviewing her about her business. And she sniffs out that they are not genuine and convinces them to go down to her basement and immediately traps them. And what she's doing in that basement is turning humans into dogs, putting them into cages, performing surgeries on them, like sewing on pads and claws and sewing on like canine jaws.
And basically torturing these people into the point of like mental oblivion.
So 2 of them get turned into dogs, and then when their compadres from the animal rights group show up to try to save them, the 2 who have now been turned into dogs killed them. The end.
But also what doesn't make sense is this animal rights group, this woman does not want her animals to die. She loves her animals. So she's taxidermying them, which, okay, you don't like that, but can't you go find somebody to take down that's torturing live animals?
Well, that's
first?
the funny part of it, is that these animal rights activists are so overzealous that not only is it like you're targeting probably the wrong people, but that's what gets your ass hemmed up.
But also, they're filming it, and then this woman ends up filming herself, like in a video diary kind of format. But where's the feed going? Shouldn't this be live? Like, you were doing something dangerous. Shouldn't this be... this should be on your Facebook Live or something like that.
Again, with all of these found footage things, I think I get so preoccupied with why are we filming this right now? I think the worst, Live and Let Dive and Stowaway are the most ridiculous, because these 2 fools literally went into outer space. So how did we get the footage? With the Stork one, it's all body cam.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But for fur babies, it's like, so the animal rights group, they were like secretly recording her. But then at a point we see that she herself is recording herself. That didn't make sense to me.
Yes.
Overwhelmingly, I think the VHS series might need to try to, it seems like they're already evolving from trying to keep it all like VHS. In this one, the wraparound story does try to incorporate that. But I don't know.
When do we get to DVD? When do we get to Netflix sending discs in the mail?
You already alluded to this, but when I think of horror anthologies and an effective wraparound, of course, like Tales from the Crypt and The Crypt Keeper worked really well as like a figure who's talking us through the stories. I think Tales from the Hood was a perfect wraparound story, because it really, the gag of that one in the end being that the men who were walking us through all the different stories are dead and like in a version of hell.
But that's something that had a powerful subtext. Like this...
Yeah, it's like there's no through line.
It's just shellacked together.
It really, and then the wraparound story really did feel like it was like a 6 segment that they just cut up into 5 pieces. So I was a bit exhausted, and then like you said, the arrangement of the stories really felt like a steep drop off at the end.
Yes.
So overall, I was disappointed in this one.
I haven't really loved any of them. Some of them have some bright, shining segments that, I could see turned into a narrative feature. This one was just okay.
It's just hard to sit through 100 minutes and have maybe like 40 minutes of it be satisfying. It just feels like it's not...
Like 40 minutes of it being like eating those styrofoam noodles at P.F. Chang's.
What would you give VHS Beyond?
2.
I would give it 2 out of 5. Join us on Patreon and listen to our podcast. Bye.